Hello and welcome to Swinging from the Hip. Hi, I'm Paul and I'll be your host this evening. Actually, I'll be the host and all the guests as well. It's just me, myself and I with Swinging from the Hip this evening. What am I going to talk about? Well, we'll have a quick chat about Swinging from the Hip, and I've got a couple of interviews to show you from my post-match games I've been at, predominantly from Eden Park, actually all of them from Eden Park up there. Also, we will have a look in at all of the test matches that are going on at the moment. We've got 3 tours at the moment. England touring India, South Africa touring Pakistan, and the West Indies are touring Bangladesh. So lots and lots of cricket on at the moment. So let's sort of crack straight on into it and have a look at the old Super Smash. Starting off with the men's competition, and we're at the end. Actually, in both cases, we're at the end of the regular season, and we'll be moving on to the elimination finals next. As you can see, Wellington Firebirds had another good season. The champions again booking themselves a home final with a 9-1 record there at the top of the table, clear of the Central Stags and the Canterbury Kings, both of whom finished with 6-4 records there. So yeah, it's going to be a real intriguing elimination final between those two. The Northern Knights were disappointed to finish 5-5 outside of the finals. The Auckland Aces, for much of the season, were basically losing all of their games and won 2 of their last 3 games to give themselves a bit of momentum going back into the one-day games, but also to salvage a bit of pride in that one. And then the Otago Volts down there, also with 2 wins from their 8 games. I'm just going to bring you up an interview that I did after the Auckland Aces beat the Otago Volts, and we'll kick off with that as our first interview of the show. After the Auckland Aces have just beaten the Otago Volts with Ross de Brack. Look, a very different wicket to Friday night. A lot more pace on this one, letting the batsmen play a lot straighter.
Yeah, exactly. We always come to expect a good wicket here at Eden Park, nice and fast, and generally quite a good batting track. It was a tad slower than we're used to at Eden Park, so I guess that just proved that the total we got would have been a good score.
Yeah, 183 for 7, a decent score there for you guys to bowl at. And then, in your first 2 overs, you took wickets with your first ball in each over, but didn't be able to take any after that. So not a bad problem to have, taking a wicket every over on your first ball.
Yeah, well, I guess like the first ball of every over, you can kind of use it as a surprise. So I guess, and T20s like that, you just get a bit of luck sometimes. So yeah, I guess that's just how it played out.
And a good effort by the bowlers all round, wasn't it? You shared the wickets around. A good team effort to bowl out Otago Volts.
Yeah, it was really pleasing to see everyone chipping in and just putting a good performance on the board. And it's nice to finally get another win here with the Aces. So it's good to get one in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, struggling season, but 2 wins out of the last 3. A nice way to end the season and to take some confidence into the one-day games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, we can take some momentum into that, and then hopefully put some good performances out in the Ford Trophy. Yeah. Well,
good luck for the rest of the season, and thanks so much for your time.
Great. Thank you very much.
And don't forget, folks, to like the Facebook page for more interviews from the. So there we are with that's an interview from that one. So on Thursday we will see the Central Stags host the Canterbury Kings. That one will be at the. It says Eden Park Outer Oval. I can't believe they're hosting them both up there. That seems very strange. A midday start. So for that one, we've seen the Stags and the Canterbury Kings for that one. Moving on to the women's side of things, and I've got a couple of interviews from that game between the Auckland Hearts and the Otago Sparks. There, let's kick off with the Auckland side of things and how they went in that one. Auckland Hearts against the Otago Sparks. You guys made a real cracking start to your innings, didn't you? You got off to a real good pace.
Yeah, we've worked on our first six in our batting. It's obviously been an area that we've been not scoring many runs, which obviously puts a lot of pressure on the back end. So it was really good to kind of get a good start today. Unfortunately, we probably didn't quite get the end that we wanted, but it's the steps in the right direction, especially coming into the business end of the tournament.
Yeah, it did look like it was going to be a big total, but as you say, you got the credit to Otago for really coming back and restricting you guys towards the end of that innings. But your bowlers came out, knew they had a job to do, that it wasn't going to be all, they say, it wasn't that big total to bowl to, but they really got amongst the wickets early, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a tricky wicket. It was keeping a bit low near the end, and we knew that if you bowled it into the wicket, it was going to hold and be hard to hit. If anything along it was always going to be easy to kind of get under, so we kind of just went in with a plan, keeping really basic, getting the ball up there and making, if it was swinging, get it swinging, and then after that, just getting it into the wicket and making it hard for them.
Yeah, and you kept their scoring rate down and allowed the scoreboard pressure really to apply towards the end there. It was around about sort of like the 12th, 13th over where you guys really turned the screw, took a few wickets, and then and closed it out nicely.
Yeah, I think Wolfie came on for a first over and got a wicket in that first over, and I think that kind of changed it for us a little bit. That just gave us a little bit of that momentum. Obviously, with the run rate climbed, and it put a lot of pressure on Katie Martin to have to try and score all the runs with the obviously people falling on the other end. So that was really a good start for us in terms of that collapse, and then it was nice to finish it off.
Well, finals cricket is on the cards, and hopefully a home elimination final. So very good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you for your time. So they heard it that Auckland got a good start, and that's been one of their troubles this season, is getting those good starts for their innings, and putting up those really competitive totals. Been under par with quite a few of them, even if their bowling attack saved them. Let's hear from Otago, the Otago side of things now, from Katie Martin, who was the big hope for them in that game. The Otago Sparks up at Eden Park. You guys, obviously, they went into bat first, had a good start, but you must be really impressed with your bowlers and fielders and how you dragged yourselves back into it in that first innings.
Yeah, they were sort of setting off for a good total there for a bit, but the girls are really clear on their plans and they come back really well. We knew we just needed to bowl wicket to wicket, and yeah, it was pleasing. They rotated the bowlers quite well, and they were able to step up and get the wickets that were needed. So it was a score that we were really comfortable that we could chase down. Yeah,
at one point it looked like they were going to be a big score. You actually bowled them all out, so yeah, some real good pressure in that second half of their innings. You obviously weren't actually at the rate, but you had wickets in hand about halfway stage. You must have been still confident that it's still on.
Yeah, I think we sort of batted pretty timid through that middle part. We talked about wanting to keep it around needing 7s, 8s and over, and that we would have been comfortable in the end. But yeah, we sort of just lost wickets throughout, plenty of dot balls, and that was probably the most disappointing part. We didn't really sort of, rotate the strike and get things moving along, and we just got too far behind with too many wickets lost in a probably a quick succession.
Yeah, those wickets, unfortunately, then obviously the scoreboard pressure, unfortunately, as they say in rugby, sorry.
Same thing.
Played its part in the end there, but well done in showing the fight and coming back, because I say they did make a good start, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Cool. Thanks, mate. Appreciate
Great.
it.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Folks. So there you go. So my interviews after those Auckland versus Otago games there. Having a quick look at how the table finished then. So we came down to the last game of the regular season was Auckland Hearts against Wellington Blaze. And Canterbury Magicians were also really interested in that one as well. Those top three, we're known for a while now, were going to be in the finals. The Hines, Sparks and Northern Spirit really, a little bit more off the pace for them, unfortunately. The Wellington Blaze, being powered by Sophie Devine, has done some wonderful batting. It came into the game knowing that if they won that, they were going to have to go straight through to the finals, and we'd have a double-header final down there in Wellington. If they lost it, though, the Auckland Hearts would get the elimination final at home, and it would be the same game all over again. And that's what's happened, is that Auckland did take the win on Sunday. Unexpectedly, really, again, didn't really, they posted a total that really wasn't, was below par, but their bowlers bailed them out yet again. And let's hear about that from my interview on Sunday.
After the last game in the regular season between the Hearts and Wellington with Fran, look, in that your batting innings, you kept the run rates up, but there were wickets falling on regular intervals, weren't they? You kind of, but as people came in, they kept the run rates up.
Yeah, we struggled to make good partnerships, but I guess in the end we got enough, which was good.
Yeah, because obviously after the men's game, it looked like there were plenty of runs in that wicket. So perhaps slightly under par total, but you girls, worked really hard to defend that after a couple of expensive early overs.
Yeah, our bowling unit did really well to defend that score. We thought we needed a couple more, but we actually ended up all right.
And it was, as you say, lots of support from the fielders taking those wickets. I mean, you could have let your heads drop, but I think it showed a lot of the character of this team that you came back and restricted them and bowled them all out eventually.
Yeah, the vibe was really good out there, and we kept our standards up, which was really good. Took the win out.
Now, Thursday, you have them back here, the same team. Just kind of a preview for that. Hoping to get a good crowd in and for the elimination final here at Eden Park.
Yeah, hopefully. It is a working day, unfortunately, but hopefully we get a good crowd in.
Yep, and folks, do head down here. It's going to be a cracker of a game, as we've seen tonight. This went down to the final overs. I think some of us are just about calming down, but it's a few heart palpitations. Hopefully you've calmed down, and well done on the win, and good luck on Thursday.
Thank you so much.
So as you see here, they got there in at the end, not what they were really hoping, not the total they were hoping for with the bowlers, and it also included 3 run-outs in that one to get themselves there at the end. Looking at bringing the schedule up, and yes, look on the official website, both games. That's the results, not the fixtures. Got the wrong one up there. As you can see, both games, both elimination finals will be at the Eden Park Outer Oval on Thursday. Now, looking on Twitter and the Auckland Cricket, so the tickets are going to be free. You do have to register, but once you've registered, the tickets are going to be free for Thursday. So if you are, it can get to Auckland for those games, then definitely recommend you head up there. It's a good day out at Eden Park. I'm not sure yet whether I'll be heading up, whether I'll be making the elimination finals or not. Central Stags versus the Canterbury Kings, and then you can see the Auckland Hearts versus the Wellington Blaze. And it looks like they're going to have the double header of the finals in Wellington. So Canterbury Magicians not getting that home advantage that they would have hoped for by finishing at the top of the table in that one. So a bit disappointing there, but I guess that's down to camera crews and being able to film or being able to broadcast both of the games. Hopefully in future, the women's top of the table will also get home advantage in that one as well. So that's where we're at with the Super Smash in that one. So the Firebirds are looking up on for their second title of the on the bounce. Let's have a look at how the Test cricket is going. A couple of games actually happening right now. Before we get on to that, let's look at the finished game, which was between Bangladesh and the West Indies. Bangladesh, in their first innings, posted 413. You've got to say they'd have been very happy with that and thought themselves definitely in the box seat at that point. With Hussain Miraz scoring 103 lower down the order. The West Indies, in reply, all bowled out for 259. So enough to avoid the follow-on, but still a long way behind in that after the first innings. Top scores there with Braithwaite, the captain, at top with 76, and Jermaine Blackwood with 68. As the century maker in the first innings, Miraz also took 4 wickets. So, one-man show a bit there for Bangladesh. Bangladesh then went back into bat and trying to push things along a bit, but they lost 3 wickets very, very quickly in the for just 33 runs and ended up declaring on 223 and setting a big total for the West Indies to chase. Mohammed Hack scored 115. Linton Daz, the wicketkeeper, with 69 there. The only 2 real scores in that Bangladesh second innings. Cromwell and took 3 wickets, as did Warwick for the West Indies. And then, having set a target of 395 for the West Indies, they would have been pretty confident that they would have been able to knock off the wickets with over a day's worth of bowling to spare. As it was, Kyle Mayers came in and scored 210 there, undefeated at the end, joined by Bonaire with 86 as well for the big stand there of 200 and nearly 220 for that 4th wicket stand, and that really gave the West Indies the opportunity to go through and chase down the target and win the Test match with 3 wickets to spare. So real upset there, and a good comeback victory for the West Indies in that one, in the first Test between Bangladesh and the West Indies. I've got to say that's going to be intriguing to see how the second Test goes there in that one. Over in Pakistan then, and South Africa over there in the first Test, Pakistan won that rather comfortably, with South Africa being bowled out for 220 in their first innings. Pakistan in reply scored 378 of a nice lead. Fawad Alam with 109 top scoring for Pakistan. They then bowled Pakistan out for 245 in their second innings, to give themselves a pretty small total to chase. Numan Ali with 5 wickets and Yashir Shah with 4 for Pakistan in that one. And then Pakistan chased down the 90. So 88. They scored 90 for 3, so one with 7 wickets to spare in that one. So a good victory for Pakistan in that first Test. The second Test is now underway, and things much more in the balance here. Pakistan in that first innings scoring 272, and then bowling the South Africa out for 201. So a 71-run lead off the first innings. Not massive, but hey, you're in the lead. You've got to be happy with that. There, Hassan Ali with 5 wickets for Pakistan again, and Rich Naughty with 5 for South Africa in that first innings. So, but Pakistan in that second innings didn't fire again. Rizwan scored 115, but no one really, I think, just didn't stay with him, and they were all bowled out for 298. George Liddell with 5 wickets there for South Africa, meaning that South Africa gave themselves a target of 370 to chase. So clearly, the biggest score of the Test match. So quite a score to chase. But they're going well at the moment. It's the first session on day 5. They're 219 for 3 at the moment, chasing that down. Hayden Markram is there on 100 and not out currently, with Temba Bavuma on 44 not out. Razel van der Dusen scored 48 there. Now, clearly, if they get through a couple more wickets, Pakistan will feel like they can, that they'll be in with a shout. But similarly, South Africa will still think that with only 151 runs left to get, it's the first session on the 5th day. I think we're going to see a result in this one way or the other. So cracking match there. I guess I can see South Africa leveling that series 1-1. Moving on then to the first Test between England and India, and a mammoth score in that in England's first innings of 578 with and I've just gone and lost the scorecard. Sorry, folks, on this one. But Joe Root scored a 200 and something or other. I've gone blank. 218. That's it. Joined by Dom Sibley initially, who scored 87, and then Ben Stokes with 82. With England sort of posting at 578. They managed to bowl India out for 337. So India have missed the follow-on. Pujara on 73 and Pant on 91 both did well. Washington, Sundar with 85 and not out, but all the other batsmen really not putting up much resistance. 4 wickets there for Dom Bess in this one. England decided not to enforce the follow-on, though, and have decided to bat again. They're currently struggling on 43 for 2. They've lost Rory Burns for naught. It looks like he fell for a golden duck on just one ball, getting out in his first ball. Dom Sibley has gone cheaply as well for 16 runs. So we've got Dan Lawrence in at the moment on 15 not out, and Joe Root on 9 not out. So yes, England at the moment leading by 284 runs in the second session of the fourth day. We'll see how many they want to get before they declare and put India back in. But interesting there that England decided not to enforce the follow-on. 95 overs, perhaps they want to give their bowlers a bit of a rest rather than bowling them straight through on that one. So that's live at the moment. So again, another interesting test match taking place there. That's got you up to speed with all of the cricket news at the moment. Hopefully we'll have Ashwin and Arun back next week to host the show and talk about what's going on, particularly in the New Zealand scene up in Auckland. And there's a couple of interesting competitions happening up there at the moment amongst club cricket, which I know that Arun would like to have a chat about. So that's just a quick one this week, just to bring it up to speed with how things are going in the Super Smash and Test cricket, having, as we missed last week. But don't forget to join us at 8 p.m. on Monday for Swinging from the Hip.